Welcome back to Superbly Said Advanced English Vocabulary and Phrases.
Today we're digging into materials from a recent SpeakDuo lesson, focusing on some really high-level idioms.
And if you want to practice these, you can always visit SpeakDuo.com. It's a great way to meet people, practice on video calls, and, well, just get more confident.
Absolutely, and these phrases are so important for advanced learners. Understanding the nuance is really key to sounding more like a native speaker. Let's start with a few about massive impact.
Okay, first up, to crush something. The topic sentence here is that to crush something is modern slang for high achievement, conveying success that far exceeds expectations or records.
Right, and the weakness we saw was that it's often treated as just, general success. But it's so much more intense.
Exactly. It means to do something extremely well, to break a record, to just completely dominate.
So the suggestion is to use it only when the victory is massive. Don't just confuse it with to excel.
Excelling is performing well. Crushing something implies there's no competition left.
Like in the source material, when Anne Hathaway's movie trailer broke the record for views, Jimmy Fallon said it crushed. It's that historical, massive win.
You could use this at work too. In a review, you might say, we didn't just hit our sales targets, we absolutely crushed them by 30%.
And that kind of intensity naturally leads to an emotional response. So mastering to go nuts allows speakers to convey a level of excitement that exceeds simple happiness or enthusiasm.
Yeah, I find a lot of learners just equate to go nuts with being excited.
Which it is, but there's a specific nuance. It's about becoming extremely excited, but in a way that's visible. It's external. Maybe even a little chaotic.
Right. If you say you're thrilled, that could be a deep internal feeling.
But going nuts is something else. Our suggestion is to save it for those loud, less controlled moments.
Like the example with Jimmy Fallon asking if the crowd went nuts for Anna Wintour. He means screaming, cheering.
Total commotion. So for an IELTS answer, you could say, when the concert started, the entire stadium went nuts. It paints a much more vivid picture.
And from a crowd going nuts, we move to a performance that causes it. So to bring the house down is an energetic theatrical phrase that specifies a powerful, explosive audience reaction, often driven by humor.
The definition is pretty clear, making an audience laugh or cheer really loudly. But the weakness is not emphasizing that this is usually about one single perfect moment.
That's a great point. It's not just earning applause. That's standard.
Bringing the house down is when a performer does something that triggers this huge, sustained, overwhelming reaction from everyone at once.
A perfect punchline, for instance. Like when Anne finally delivered her line perfectly on stage, the source says, the house went down.
You can use this in a business context, too. The CEO's joke about the company's early days really brought the house down during the annual meeting. It changes the whole energy of the room.
Okay, let's shift gears a bit. From impact to intention and strategy.
Starting with to lean into something.
Right. Recognizing the proactive nature of to lean into something helps define the difference between passive acceptance and strategic embracing of a challenge.
The biggest mistake people make is treating this like just tolerating a bad situation.
Yeah, but it's not tolerance. The real meaning is to accept a difficult situation and actually use it to your advantage. It's a conscious, strategic move.
I think the best way to see the nuance is to compare it with to cope with something.
Yes. Coping is just surviving. It's damage control.
Leaning into it is actively engaging with the problem to find an opportunity. You're trying to turn a weakness into a strength.
Like when the audience laughed at Anne, she decided to lean into it and just go with the moment.
Perfect example. In a work meeting, you could say, this budget cut is tough, but let's lean into the challenge and use it as a reason to invest in automation.
That idea of an active choice is also central to our next one. Understanding the specific context of intentional loss encapsulated in to throw the game is crucial for differentiating it from simple defeat.
The lesson material focused a lot on parents letting their kids win, which is fine, but it's a bit narrow.
It is. The meaning is to lose on purpose, but the weakness is missing its application in higher-level strategy.
It's really useful to compare to throw the game with to forfeit the game.
Totally different. Forfeiting is procedural. You can't continue, so you give up.
But throwing a game is deception. It's a strategic choice.
So, while Anne might not throw the games when playing with her children,
A company absolutely might. You could say, It looks like we're throwing the game in this smaller market to focus all our resources on the international one. It's a calculated sacrifice.
Okay, next let's talk about knowledge and social skills.
Starting with how we talk about expertise.
To know one's stuff provides a highly conversational way to acknowledge deep practical expertise, distinguishing it from merely being knowledgeable.
And the weakness here is thinking it's just any old compliment. It implies a really deep, intuitive mastery.
It's not formal. You wouldn't put knows his stuff on a resume.
Exactly. You could say someone is proficient, and that's formal, but saying someone knows their stuff is this enthusiastic, casual praise. It means you trust their skills completely.
Like when Jimmy Fallon told Anne, "You really know your stuff." After the trivia quiz, he was impressed by her quick, accurate knowledge.
And in a professional setting, you could say, our new IT guy really knows his stuff. He fixed 3 huge problems on his first day.
And knowing how to work with people is just as important. This idiom, to play well with others, provides a humorous, often self-aware, way for adults to reference cooperative and friendly behavior in a team setting.
The key here is the humor. If you miss that, you miss the whole point. It's used jokingly with adults because it's a phrase from childhood report cards.
Right. The formal version would be collaborates effectively.
Which is just stiff corporate jargon.
Playing well with others is deliberately playful. It lightens the tone when you're talking about teamwork.
Like when Jimmy joked that Anne plays well with others after hearing her story about acting with raccoons. It's a funny way of saying she's a good collaborator.
In an interview, you might say, "We value people who play well with others here because teamwork is everything."
All right, our final group of idioms looks at quality and internal focus.
Starting with a very modern one, next level. Using next level effectively communicates exceptional quality that significantly surpasses typical expectations.
I think the source material limited this a bit too much to just artistic performance. It can be used for anything.
It can. The real meaning is that something is so much better or more advanced that it creates a whole new category.
Distinguishing it from high quality or excellent is key. Those are just standard high ratings.
Next level implies innovation, something revolutionary. It's very current, very high energy.
So Anne described the actor's performance as next level, but you could also apply it to tech.
Oh, definitely. The processing speed on this new phone isn't just fast, it's next level. It makes everything else feel obsolete.
And for our last one, we turn inward. Understanding to block something out is key to describing internal psychological actions rather than external avoidance.
The weakness here is confusing a mental action with a physical one.
Exactly. It's about intentionally trying to forget something or stop thinking about it. It's a cognitive process.
It's very different from to ignore. You ignore something external, like a loud noise or a person.
Right. But you block out something internal, a memory, a thought, a feeling. It's a conscious mental effort.
Jimmy asked Anne if she blocks out her movies after she's done filming. He's asking about her mental process of moving on.
And for an IELTS question on stress, this is perfect. You could say, I try to block out embarrassing moments from my mind so I don't feel so anxious.
And that wraps up our deep dive on these 9 idioms. I hope that exploring these nuances really helps elevate your fluency.
Definitely. Now, to make sure it all sticks, let's run through a quick quiz.
Okay, question 1. Which phrase means to lose a game on purpose to let the other person win? Is it option A, to cast the match on purpose? Option B, to throw the game? Or option C, to forfeit the round intentionally?
Feel free to pause the critique here if you need a moment to think about the meaning of to throw the game.
The correct answer is B, to throw the game. Remember, this implies a strategic intentional failure.
Question 2. What is the meaning of the idiom to go nuts? Is it option A, to become extremely excited, enthusiastic, or crazy about something? Option B, to engage in excessive consumption of snacks or treats? Or option C, to lose control over one's thoughts and actions suddenly?
Take a moment to consider which definition best fits to go nuts.
The answer is A, to become extremely excited, enthusiastic, or crazy about something. We talked about how football fans go nuts when their team scores.
Question 3 is about quality. If something is described as next level, What is the speaker implying? Option A, it is due for an imminent upgrade or redesign. Option B, it has achieved a minor, measurable improvement. Or option C, it is much better, more advanced, or more impressive than expected.
Think about that big step up in quality implied by next level.
The correct answer is C. It is much better, more advanced, or more impressive than expected. Like the sushi that was so fresh it was truly next level.
Okay, question 4. The phrase, to bring the house down, is best described as option A, to dismantle a set or stage after a performance is complete. Option B, to make an audience laugh, clap, or cheer very loudly during a performance. Or option C, to renovate a building so thoroughly that it requires new walls.
Remember that context of a massive audience reaction when thinking about to bring the house down.
The correct answer is B, to make an audience laugh, clap, or cheer very loudly during a performance. Remember, a comedian like Kevin Hart always brings the house down.
Question 5. Which definition fits the phrase to lean into something? Option A, to avoid a difficult situation by shifting the responsibility to others. Option B, to physically move closer to something for inspection or support. Or option C, to accept a situation and embrace it or use it to your advantage.
What's that proactive response we talked about when you lean into a situation?
The answer is C, to accept a situation and embrace it or use it to your advantage. You actively choose to lean into the challenge.
Question 6, on expertise. When a person knows their stuff, it means option A, they are highly selective about the quality of their possessions. Option B, they have a lot of knowledge or skill in a particular subject. Or option C, they are well organized and familiar with the location of their belongings.
Pause now if you need to recall the meaning of knows their stuff.
The correct answer is B. They have a lot of knowledge or skill in a particular subject. Jimmy Fallon complimented Anne Hathaway because she really knows her stuff.
Question 7. The action of to block something out involves option A, to use physical barriers to obscure one's view of an object. Option B, to refuse to acknowledge or speak to a particular person socially. Option C, to intentionally try to forget something or stop thinking about it.
Think about that internal mental effort required to block something out.
The correct answer is C, to intentionally try to forget something or stop thinking about it. Like how people try to block out stressful memories.
And our final one, question 8, what does it mean for a movie trailer to crush its viewing record? Option A, it unexpectedly failed to meet minimum viewership expectations. Option B, it succeeded in a big way by doing something extremely well. Or option C, it was heavily edited to remove all dramatic or climactic scenes.
What does it mean for something to truly crush the competition?
The answer is B. It succeeded in a big way by doing something extremely well. The movie trailer crushed the record by getting the most views.
And that concludes our quiz. We really tried to focus today on the deep nuances that are so often missed.
We covered those key strategic differences, like choosing to lean into a challenge rather than just coping, or a company deciding to throw the game.
And we also focused on that high-intensity language, knowing when to say something is excellent versus when it's truly next level, or when you've absolutely crushed a target.
These precise choices really will make a huge difference in your fluency. Remember to look for the daily quiz and review of this critique in your email.
And if you're serious about building confidence with these phrases, we invite you to check out SpeakDuo Pro. We really appreciate your support, and if you found this valuable, please leave a 5-star review.